Okay, so for my partial defense, I did Evening Hawk by Robert Penn Warren. So what I found so in the beginning of the poem, I looked at its imagery, specifically in many sections throughout the poem, specifically through verses 1 through 6. I also found that this part of the poem signified that light becoming the light becoming dark, because of terms such as sunset build and the clarity of shadow. This is a symbol of the transition from day to night. To be even more specific, this could also mean all too familiar transition from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. The significance for this part of the poem is due to how the hawk is being portrayed as a killer of sunlight and a creature of the night, because as the hawk approaches the horizon, the darkness approaches with it. So it can signify that the hawk is a creature of night, and also could also signify as being in similarity to that of a crow. Then I looked at verses 7 through 10, which indicated that due to the combination of sights down another day and crash split fall of stalks of time, I found that the hawk could also be a personification of the passage of time, because the poem states how whenever the hawk presents itself, another day is concluded, which does confirm what I previously told in the beginning of the poem, where of the hawk being a killer of sunlight. Also, what I found very interesting in this part of the poem was stalks of time, which does confirm my theory of how the hawk is often correlated with a symbol of the ending of time, or ending of a certain period of time. Now, looking at this, for verses 11 through 14, you can see that due to the usage of words such as climbing and unforgiving, as well as references from earlier sections of the poem, you can also indicate that the hawk, when doing its killing away time without any relent on executing its deeds. And the significance of this is the word unforgiving, which results in the hawk being portrayed as a creature that does its deeds with great which also can solidify the idea that it that time knows no boundaries, and also that time that never stops, so time never stops for a second. Now for this part of for this section of Evening Hawk, you can also find that specifically with words such as hieroglyphics and Plato, we can conclude that the hawk is a representation of the reasons why time should be used effectively. And also I found that words that Plato was not put there just for the sake of it. It was also placed there due to the fact that Plato is a philosopher and spent the majority of his life on 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 establishing the philosophy, of course, of democracy, as he's known for establishing the philosophy that is, of course, democracy. And I think what this is signifying that time should be spent effectively and not be wasted. And words such as immense and ancient only confirm my theory about the hieroglyphics and Plato. Now, for the final part of this poem, we can find that if there was no way we think, here the Earth right its axis, that could also indicate that due to the combination of terms such of the sequences such as Earth right on its axis and history dripping darkness, I can really say, based on those two terms, those two sequences, that it can be a euphemism to another day dying. because even though it does when these are combined, when it does mean that another day is concluded, or that when the evening hawk approaches that another day has concluded, even though it's not directly just saying that another day has ended. This is also significant because, especially with using words such as darkness, and as you can see, dark is anything that's dark or anyone that is dark is often used as a description of anyone that's a villain or is of an antagonist, as you can in a certain story. Now, what I found specifically in the tone of Evening Hawk is that the tone of Evening Hawk is very serious and it's reflective. Just because of words such as shadow and time, it could also confirm the idea that that it that the goal that it can establish why time should be used effectively, and how the shadows will go relentlessly regardless and is indifferent towards anyone, good or bad. But another way you can also say is the fact that it's also serious in the sense that time doesn't wait for anybody. Time doesn't wait on anything. Like once time has passed, you can never get it back.
Any questions?
Do you guys want to start with a discussion?
On the poem, you can also for the poem, the thesis statement is that Evening Hawk is about the value of time and how every second of our lives should be spent fruitfully, as once time goes by, you can never get it back, as I previously had said. You can now you can see, to go even further, you can say that the star is steady, which indicates that time is always passing by and never taking a break for even 1 millisecond. You can also confirm that the fact that it is serious because throughout this poem, I never hear anything such as it never does makes anything into a satirical tone. Like, for example, his wing sights down another day. His motion is that of a Hans Steel Edge. And specifically with Hans Steel Edge and a sight, that's often an indication of death, or the death of a day. And also Hans Steel Edge could also add to the lack of humor, in this particular section. Now, from plane of light to plane, you could also indicate that light is going away, transitioning from day to night. And all of this is concurrent with the thesis, due to the fact that that's basically what Evening Hawk is about. It's about the value of time and why you should not take it lightly.
I mean, I'm ready for
Well, okay, that you just messed